Hey, welcome back. This is Soph,
This is Rich.
and we are from across the
Oh,
pond.
hi, love. You all right?
I'm doing good. How was your weekend, sweetie?
It was one of them. I ain't gonna lie.
It was one of them.
It rained.
Uh-huh.
Um, I'm not gonna lie. It was boring, but I bought some new furniture for my bedroom. My mum come round to help me put it together, and like we were bossing it, like females giving it
Uh,
large. To be fair,
Teamwork makes the dream work.
you're right. We know about that. It was so heavy we couldn't even get up the stairs to start with. And she's gonna laugh when she listens to this and says, "Oh, she can't believe I'm telling the story." But it was in a massive box, like probably taller than me. It was so heavy we couldn't even get it up the stairs. I said to her, "Let's lay it down and slide it up the stairs." We couldn't even do that. It was so heavy. So we opened it, took some of the like she passed me some of the bits up the stairs, and then when it was like half full, we decided to drag the box up the stairs. We were boss
Okay.
couple of runners for the drawers we put the wrong way round, so we had to unscrew them, screw them back in. That was fine.
So what you were saying that you bought what? A dresser?
Yeah, like a chest of drawers dresser, if that's what you want to call it.
Wow.
Chest. It's got 7 drawers in it, basically. Um.
Long
Anyway,
dresser.
we got so far. I'd say there was one piece left to put on, which was the top, and then obviously the drawers, which we could make them separately. Only to find out that they'd put the wrong piece in the box. Oh,
Don't you just hate that? You was almost finished.
we could. My mum was so eggy. She was like, "Do you know what? I'm going home." So she literally just left. I had to tidy it all up myself. And now I've got to wait till tomorrow to call them. So in my bedroom is the old drawers plus the new ones with nothing, just a frame and an odd bit. Bits laid everywhere because I haven't put the drawers together yet.
That sounds wonderful.
So this is like my relaxation and my let's come down,
Take a
doing the
break
show and
from
see your
take a
beautiful
break
face.
from self-destruction of the dresser.
Yeah, and you'll be pleased to know there is not alcohol in here, even though there should be.
Well, good to know. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. Whoop de doo. So I'm kind of taking it easy today. I'm drinking some tea.
Why are you okay?
hmm Every year around my birthday time, I what I do is I get a full workup of my body. I want to know my blood work. I want to know if I got high cholesterol. I do it every year after my birthday.
Birthday present to
So,
yourself. Self care.
mm-hmm, because us minority, we got like um hereditary stuff in our blood, like hypertension and high cholesterol, and it's just hereditary. It's not you know something that you just create. It's just something in our makeup. So I always try to stay ahead of the game when it comes to my health. hmm
You should as well. No one's going to look after you better than you look after yourself.
Ain't that the truth?
You only got one body, so you better look after it.
Ain't that truth? And this body takes a beating
Uh-huh.
because I'm a partier.
We don't wish to know what goes on behind closed doors. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything behind closed doors. I just like to party.
All right, party, work hard, party hard. Ain't that what?
What else? What else did you do this weekend? That was it.
Watch the boxing. Oh,
Oh, did you watch any boxing this weekend?
there was the Spence Garcia fight, but there was also one here, Yard and Arthur, and everybody thought Yard was going to win. And to be fair to the okay, the first 3 rounds were boring, and he didn't really do anything, so I gave it to the other guy, even though my money was on him. If I had to pick a bet, they was it got to the point where he was just coasting along in the fight, to the point where if he didn't up his game, he was just going to lose on points. So he decided to
Uh-huh.
up his game right at the last minute, right?
Mhm.
He didn't knock the guy out in the last round, but he did punch him enough to make him stumble. Boy, if I tell you, when they was waiting for the scorecards to come in, he was going round the ring like whoop whoop, like he thought this is in the bag. Even when they was like the referee holds their gloves, mate, he still got his one arm up like this, even though they haven't read out the scores yet. First round, first commentator guy gave him the point. Yes, he's like whoop. Next one, give it to matey. So now it's a draw, right? waiting for the third card to come in. Mate, he's like this. Whoop, whoop. Oh, hell no, you didn't win. You better put that glove down. They gave it to
Yeah.
my man. He just
Yard. What's his
left the
name?
ring
Yard?
straight away. Arthur won. Matey Yard just left the ring straight away. He was eggy.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, why was he eggy? Did he win?
No.
Oh, so wasn't that the guy you were rooting for?
The guy I thought would win
Lost.
and should have won, lost. Yeah.
Wow.
And he thought he had it in the bag, but he just took it too easy. He didn't make much of an effort until it was too late.
He thought he had it in the bag. That's what happened.
And he's there giving it the large
You
one.
should've-
Oh, yes. Put your glove down, mate. You didn't deserve
Well,
it.
I'm gonna say I saw bits and pieces of the Spence and Garcia fight, and from what I saw, Spence was giving him some work. I mean, they was both throwing.
He did that ring to win. I'm telling you.
No, I mean, like he was in there throwing some hellacious blows. But you know what, though? Besides the Spence fight, did you see the undercard at all?
Before the Spence one?
Mm-hmm.
No, I was still watching the other one.
Let me ask you, I'm gonna tell you something. They got this young boy, he's 22 years old from Australia, he's 6'6". But guess what? His reach is like average. His reach is no different than an average boxer. But I'm gonna tell you though, he put a hurting on that African boy. I can't think of what his name is, but he's only been a pro for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's undefeated, got a couple knockouts under his belt. Yo, he's serious. But for him to be 6'6", you would think somebody at 6'6" would be like interested in basketball, but
well, yeah,
he was throwing them hands. He was throwing them hands, but I'm gonna tell you though, with somebody with a little more experience, would have chopped him down, chopped him straight down. I mean, his uppercut was just wicked. I mean, he was laying that uppercut, but for to be 6'6" and have an average reach, my man was still trying to.
I forgot to tell you the most important thing about the Yard Arthur fight. So the guy who won, Arthur, he actually, after about 4 rounds, hurt his right hand. So he just kept it here, didn't move it at all. So when they went back to their corners after about 6 rounds, these people in that Yard's corner, they were rubbish. But you could hear them saying, listen, he's hurt his right hand. He ain't used it for the last 3 rounds. So go in. Mate, he won with just one flipping arm. The left foot.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's embarrassing.
Exactly.
I'm gonna tell you, that's what happens. If you got a good corner, that's what you mean. You need to listen. You need to listen. If my man said, look, take the whole top of his head off, he only throwing one hand, he should have been wearing that whole left side out or right side out, because he ain't gonna be able to throw it. So guess what?
But he, to me, come across as very arrogant the whole time when he was in his corner. He didn't want, like, at one point there was some guy behind him, like putting water, like dribbling water on his back, and he just went, put it on my head. And the guy sort of like moved it up here and he was like, put it on my head, you know. And I was thinking, damn, this guy's got some serious chewed today, boy. He should have left that attitude at home. So he obviously went in with the theory he was going to win, thought he had it in the bag, even though he'd done nothing to win, and didn't. Mate, he won with just one arm, with one hand. Get in.
Hey, guess what? Like Garcia said, the best man won tonight.
There you go.
And you know what? I love stuff like that. I love when someone can just say, hey, look, he beat my tail. Because I'm going to tell you, Spence gave him some work. I mean, they was going at it, but Spence was wearing him out. And kudos to Spence, because a year ago, he was in a car accident, a fatal one. His Lamborghini flipped like 4 times with him in it.
His face was just.
You know what I mean? And the man upstairs really covered him, because he really didn't have any real damage but like scars around his face or whatever. So I think Spence had a lot more to prove, because, you know, first they thinking if he still got it after the accident, because he was off for like almost a year and some change.
I was going to say, do you think he had a point to prove? That's why he went in there all guns blazing.
Oh yeah, without question. And he took my man's belt in the process. So kudos to Spence. But now, Spence, all I'm going to say is, please don't duck my boy Crawford. That's all I got to say. Let us really pay some pay-per-view. I want to see you and Crawford tear it up.
Who would your money be on?
Who
would your money be on to win?
Crawford, hands down. Thank you very much. But I'm going to tell you, though, it'd be a box office draw, because I'm not taking anything away from Spence. I just think Crawford is a better man in that division. And I'm telling you, that would be an all-out in the middle of the ring classic. I'm calling it here, folks. It would be an automatic classic. I can see Spencer Crawford 2, Spencer Crawford, the battle for the Royale 3. That's how I look at
Listen,
stuff like that.
if either of them are looking for a new promoter,
I'm in there.
he's in there like swimwear.
You did.
Listen, if you do that though, don't forget about me. I need ringside seats.
You got it.
But I did notice that your fight had way more. Ours didn't have hardly any spectators, but yours had way more than ours.
Well, you know what? It did have some spectators, but not like normal. But it did have some. I mean, it had some people really watching the fight, which I was surprised.
Yeah, you had way more than us.
Because the Mike Tyson fight, there wasn't nobody.
That's how it was this time for us too. There was only like a couple of peeps in each corner. That was it.
And even with the Crawford fight, it was just like a small little pen, and that was like Crawford's family. It wasn't like a whole bunch of spectators. But at this Spence fight, there was a lot of spectators and boxers that are coming up that looking at the, what I mean? They were looking at the work they might have to put in, which was a good thing. Now,
anything else for your weekend?
That's about it for me.
That's about it from him. That's about it.
In my Penn State, I think they won. Notre Dame won. The number 1 and number 2 of college basketball got postponed, which was everybody was trying to watch because it was number 1 and number 2 in the, in the country. And that would have been a nice basketball game, but it got postponed. And that's Gonzaga and Baylor, if anybody knows what I'm talking about.
Well, actually, I've got one more thing about the weekend.
Yeah.
Our radio interview was aired today.
Oh, yeah.
And I did listen. I'm not going to lie. It was on in 2 parts. First part, we are going to share it, by the way. But it was absolutely so weird to listen to you more than me, but to listen to it coming out of my radio, I just had to be like a couple of giggles, because normally if I'm talking to you, like now I can see you,
Right.
So to just hear you, like, and your little voice when they were like, oh, do you know where the show's going? Yepper.
Hey, I'm sorry that I don't have that English accent.
Oh, no, God, don't be sorry. We love your accent, but
it is what it is, people. It is what it is. I'm representing for the U.S. here, people.
Exactly. My mum was here and we listened to the second half together and we just laughed. We laughed so hard. It was funny.
Good. That's what I want. I want to make people happy.
Yeah, so
I
I'll
hope
send
our
it.
show is enjoyable for everyone.
I'm going to share it on our socials so everyone can listen to us.
Yeah, buddy.
Because we make it big.
And don't forget, later on at the end of the show, people, we got to announce a winner. Am I correct?
Correct. Yeah, we're going to make you sweat. Wait till the end. We like to end our shows on a high. And today is Serious Sunday. So we're going to do our serious chit chat. And then right at the end, we're going to slam dunk you with a positive.
Yes. So, you ready?
Yeah, sorry.
Are you ready?
I was born ready.
Okay, well then, in the news.
Okay, yeah, we're going in.
I'm thinking starting next week, don't y'all get issued the vaccine? I heard on the news here that Russia and the UK are issuing out the vaccine. How you feel about that?
Tuesday, the first vaccine comes. Apparently, there's 800,000 due on Tuesday, and it's supposed to come in 2 parts. You get 2 jabs. So whether that's 800,000 is the first jab, and then they get in another 800,000, or 800,000 is 400,000 of each, I have no idea. But Tuesday's arriving. They're saying that people in care homes and care workers are going to be the first people to get it. To be fair, when I was listening to the radio earlier, there was a guy on there who said he thinks that all NHS staff and hospital workers should get it first, because then they'll be, like fully 100% fit and equipped to be able to deal with everybody.
They'll be immune.
Correct. But like you said the other week, no one's talked really about side effects yet. So let's just say they give it to all the NHS workers, all the doctors, all the nurses, and then they have mass side effects. Who's going to be there to
Mhm.
look after the sick or the poorly then? Nobody, because they're going to be ill from the side effects.
I agree. I feel like well here, let me back it up a little bit. Here, the FDA,
What's that?
which is the was it Federal Disease Control here, have not approved it. It hasn't been approved yet.
Have they said why?
No, they haven't. Because and then I was listening this morning on the news that they had a doctor that said that they have to go through like a board and all that, and it has to be okayed before they can issue it out. Well, I don't know if it was a rumor or whatnot, or if it was the truth that they said that they would start issuing the vaccine December 15th. So then the lady reporter asked the doctor, how do you feel about it? You think they'll still be able to get that out within a week? And the guy said, don't work that way. So whatever he says, so if it takes longer than a week, because he says whenever they approve it, then the very next day they start issuing it out, but it hasn't been approved. So therefore, if it takes them a week or so, you're not going to get it until it's approved. And my theory is, and they're saying once it gets approved and everybody's going to get like, the information, everything's going to be transparent. Why ain't it transparent now though?
Mm.
Like I need to know, like no one has yet to tell me what the side effects are. Like, are we going to have upper respiratory symptoms? Are we going to have corona-like symptoms? We're going to have flu-like symptoms? Or is people going to break out in a rash? Are we going to wake up with cold sweats?
Who
Ain't
knows
nobody saying nothing.
what? But I feel like Boris Johnson, oh God, if I go again with my opinions, I think he's totally done it for the wrong reasons, right? I think he has let the UK do it. So if it goes smoothly and all goes to plan, he will look like the man. Do you know what I mean? Well, I was the first one to do it. I was the first one to do it. And everyone will be like, damn, man, we should have done that. We should have listened to him. If it any money, anyhow it goes wrong, you ain't going to see him. He's going to bail for a
Mhm.
fact. He's just doing it to look good, to be fair. And even guaranteed that, here's my thing, right? Why doesn't them saying, oh, NHS staff should take it, old people should take it, carers, blah, blah, blah. Everybody in 10 Downing Street, MPs, prime ministers, whatever, why don't they take it first? Why don't they put people like me, like you, who've got reservations about it because they haven't got all the information? Why don't he take it first?
Mhm.
Then
Well, here they got like the presidents saying that they're willing to take it on national television.
I hear that.
And my thing is, what does it matter? I mean, the president and them, they got first dibs. So they drop dead, they going straight to emergency room.
Okay, but
I'm
also,
not. I'm be waiting like everybody else, half
also
dead.
why it don't matter, because if they're on TV, right, say we're it right now, jab, there you go, he just going to cark it on the floor, is he? It's going to take hours, days, a week for any side effects to come out. It's not going to be instant. So yeah, it's all well and good going on telly saying, here's my arm, stab me up, you jab him and nothing happens. Woohoo, look, it's fine. Well, actually, that's not a true representation. You need to see what happens 24 hours later, 48 hours later, 72
Mm.
hours later,
I mean, that's not going to make me feel good that my favorite president, my two favorite presidents are going to take it. What? How is that supposed to make me feel good? Nah, I ain't trying to hear it. I honestly am like, and
Okay,
then I feel bad. I feel bad for the elderly
but
because
at
now
least
we're just
your
using the elderly as
presidential
guinea
figures
pigs. Are we
are
using the elderly as guinea pigs?
apparently, at least your presidential figures are trying to put the public at ease by at least saying they'll go and do it on TV. Our guy, you don't even bloody see him. Sat at
Look,
home
I'm gonna
with
tell
his
you right now,
baby.
our soon-to-be ex-president ain't thinking about the corona at all. Okay, he just had a rally on Saturday in Georgia because we have a Senate race right now where it's tied. You got that was tied. So in January, it's called a runoff. So they have to re-vote. So you got people campaigning for a Republican, and you got people campaigning for a Democrat. And the thing of it is if the Democrats, if the Democrat that is running wins, then we have the House and the Senate. That means that if when Biden goes in, whatever he wants, he's going to damn near get. Whatever he puts on the floor, he's going to damn near get. But if a Republican wins, then it's going to be a standstill. So the Democrats have the House and the Republicans will have the Senate, and it'll be a stalemate throughout his 4 years. So whatever he's coming up with, if the House likes it, they push it to the Senate, and if the Senate don't like it, it's just going to sit there on the floor. And that's the whole big thing. But guess what? Trump ain't thinking about no corona. Guess what he's doing? He's down there gassing again, gaslighting these people about fraud and stealing and cheating elections when there's no proof, and these dingbats of people are believing it. There's no proof at all. And come next week, everything's going to be certified. Then what? You can't keep crying that, oh, there's fraud in election and there's fraud. Bro, there ain't none. You just lost. And it frustrates me to an end that here, I'm gonna tell you here, one American person is dying every 33 seconds from corona as of today, and it's just keeps spiking and spiking and spiking. Biden, President-elect Biden, is the only one saying for the first 100 days of his election, he wants everybody to wear a mask. He's not making it mandatory, but he's suggesting that, hey, man, I'm wearing a mask. If you really want this to work, I want everybody the first 100 days of my what's the name to just wear a mask. Now they're telling you to wear a mask in your own home.
Oh, how would
You know what I mean? Now they're telling you not to go nowhere if you don't have to. That's how bad it's getting over here.
Well, this is a bit like the whole, they're going to totally remove all the lockdown everywhere for 5 days over Christmas so that people can see and spend it with their family. You know exactly what's going to happen. Like they said, this is what we're going to do, but we suggest that you don't go and see your family. Well, that's like saying to a kid, here's a chocolate bar. I'm going to leave the room and leave it on the table, but don't eat it. Obviously, people are going to see them, but you know what? Then they're going to go and see their families after Christmas. You know what he's going to say? Oh, it's spiked for a third time, so now you got to go on complete lockdown again, and that's your fault because you went to see your family.
Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, you got our ex-president throwing rallies like another super spreader. And guess what? Not one single person had a mask on, but they're all chanting, oh, save the this, save the that. The election's been over for months, okay? The election's been over for a month now. So guess what? You lost, man. How about you start focusing on some people? How about leave the White House with a legacy instead of leaving the White House like a brat?
Well, we've got two idiots at each end of the pond. Across the
I
pond,
don't get
got
it.
a couple of plums. But yeah, the other thing I read was obviously the thing that made me laugh. You know, I was saying about how people in the number 10 Downing Street should take it. The
Mhm.
Queen's 94. Her husband, Prince Philip, is 99, right? So they're in the top category of vulnerable. They're set to have it within the next few weeks. Why ain't the Queen going to be the first one to have it? She's in the top category of vulnerable. So is her husband. It's coming on Tuesday. So if that's the case, why ain't she up there first of all with her
But you know
arm out
why?
to get jabbed?
You want me to tell you why?
Go on.
Because she got good sense. She just like she human like everybody else. She's like,
But that doesn't
I'm
then
not trying
set,
to be the first person to get stuck.
exactly, but that doesn't set like the whole country. It doesn't put you at ease. Do you know what I mean? Oh, the
Mhm.
Queen and her husband, the woman in charge of the country. She is one of the most vulnerable. She ain't even having it for the next few weeks, even though it's available from Tuesday. Surely,
Mhm.
as soon as that boat hits the bloody dock with the jabs, she should be there with her arm out, right?
Yeah, because isn't she considered elderly?
Exactly. She's considered
They're giving
elderly,
it to the
vulnerable,
elderly.
whatever.
She's almost 100.
Exactly my point. So that's why I'm like, nah, you'll find me somewhere, not even at the back of the queue, mate. I'm
Now
even
don't get me. Now I'm gonna say it like this. I'm gonna say it like this. Here, I'm part of the essential crew. Okay, I work for the man. So
thank you
my
for
thing
that.
is I'm just not sold on it. I'm just not. I mean, yes, the coronavirus is real.
Hmm.
The COVID-19 is real. Like, I mean, they're the same thing, but I'm just saying, I'm just not sold because they're going to say, well, when it gets approved, then it'll be transparent. Well, why ain't it it should be the transparent from day one. It's a 2 series shot.
But
So
also,
you
it's
mean to tell me,
supposedly only got a 90% success rate.
and then you got to keep it cold.
Yeah,
I
mine is
heard.
70. Mine
Yeah,
is
you gotta keep
70.
it cold. So like
Mm.
some of the hottest spots that's got it going on right now is California, which is hot as the Dickens, Texas, which is hot as the Dickens, and you got Florida, which is hot as the Dickens. So how you keeping these things cold? I really would like to know. And again, number one question on everybody's mind is what's the side effects? You see all these memes of people barking and
Yeah, and
turning
twitching.
into aliens and twitching and all that because that's what the American people are wanting to know. We know all about the vaccine. We get it. But what's up with the side effects? I want to know. And because everybody's body ain't the same. Like I just got done saying, me as a minority, we got hereditary stuff in our bloodstream. You know what I mean? Mm-mm. I might not, it might not take to me than it might take to
Like
someone
me,
else.
like I'm not 100% English. I'm part German, part Ukraine, so therefore it's not going to have to be the same for me as it would be who's sub pure thoroughbred English. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm. And I'm just not sold. And I have to agree with whoever said that giving it to the nurses and the doctors first. I don't know. I'm kind of up in the air with that too, because like again, we're gonna go right back to that same side effect deal. Okay, my family doctor gets it and now he's sick. Who gonna first of all, who gonna take care of him if all the doctors is sick? Who gonna take care of the nurses if all the nurses are sick? And this is what they went to school and got paid to do. And then you got a common Joe Smo like me. I might just have a chest cold and need a prescription. I can't because my doctor is laid up.
Exactly. I definitely think it should be done on a volunteer basis. You always hear about these
That's your opinion.
medical
Your opinion, you think it should be voluntary first?
Yeah, of course, because you're always going to get somebody out there who's desperate for it. Even some people will do it for free, but you always hear about these medical researchers wanting you to test out these different, like drugs and
Drugs
stuff.
and stuff. Hmm.
So why don't they? If even if they've done that, they've done the bit where they pay people, I don't know, I think it's 2.5 grand to get, test a drug, and it's worked. If I bet you any money, if Bojo went on the news tomorrow and said, "Listen, we're rolling it out to volunteers. Who is there? Anybody that wants it?" Boy, he'd be inundated with people from all different ages, all different races.
Hmm.
There would be people who want it. I ain't one of them, but there would be people that want it. I've had
Yeah.
enough people. Dare I say, my dad's other half. She's a real winner for the flu jab for everything. I bet she'd be first in line to get it done. You wouldn't even have to ask her. But that's what I mean.
I'm gonna
There's
tell you
more
right now,
people.
being ex-military, I've been shot up on a whole different levels of like drugs. When I went to Iraq, we had got the anthrax shot, and that's like a 7 series shot. And I kid you not, I felt some type of way when I got series number 3 and 4, and then next thing you know, they was like, "Oh, we're doing away with that. You don't need it." I'm like, "Wait a minute, man." Yo, like, what if I want to have kids? Is my son or daughter gonna come out with like a third eye? Like, I only got three. Ain't this like a 7 series shot? Like, y'all just gonna stop in the middle? Like, you know what I mean? So like, I understand. Like, hey man, y'all just dishing out shots, and then when y'all don't feel like giving them out no more, y'all just stop.
There was
It's
a statement from a doctor the other day saying that she was worried that because it's a two-part injection, she
Mhm.
said she was worried that people wouldn't go back for the second injection after the first after side effects from the first one. She didn't say what the side effects were. She just said that she's worried that people will get side effects from the first one, so they won't go back for the second jab. Exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's what I'm saying. Like, they keep saying, I hate hearing this word transparency. Oh, well, once it gets approved, then, the American people, everybody will get a true transparency of like what the drug does, how it affects you, yada yada yada. They
How
should
can
have
you
been doing
believe that when the UK are getting it on Tuesday? So in 2 days' time, and we don't even know what that is. We don't even know what the side effects are. So for them
that. Ours
to
ain't
say,
even approved yet.
but for them to say that they will tell you, of course they'll tell you because they'll have watched from England what the side effects are. So then they'll be able to tell you. You know what I mean?
So
Where's our
basically,
transparency?
so
Where's our side
basically,
effects before the jab comes and stabs you? Do you know what I mean?
so
Don't talk about
basically,
that.
the UK is the US's guinea pigs,
Clear. It's everyone's guinea pig by the look of it.
and
But this
Russia,
is what I'm
y'all the
saying.
guinea pigs to us.
Bojo has basically put us out there in no man's land because it could go either way. If it
Hmm.
goes a success, he's going to be the man, the big man. Oh, yeah, let's vote him in again because he saved us, blah, blah, blah. If
Hmm.
it goes wrong, he's just going to run off in a rabbit hole and then go into the middle of nowhere and no one will see him again.
Well, our ex-president ain't even thinking about
But
us.
you know, the other thing that annoys me
He's
about
more or
this,
less making up stuff.
you know,
He's making
what
up
else
stuff.
annoys me about this whole corona thing, COVID? I don't even know what to call it anymore. It's almost like no other illnesses exist while this is going on. Do you know what I mean?
That's
People who've
true.
been seriously ill, you know, like cancer patients, people who've needed operations, everything has been cancelled, put on a back burner, all
Well,
because
no, it's just not been. I don't think it's been put on a back burner. I just think it's not the. Like I said with media, it's not. It's not worth talking about.
but it has been put on a back burner because Alfie had a doctor's appointment, a hospital appointment in January.
Mm.
And then February was when this corona came over here. So January we went and she said she would, the doctor said she would contact the hospital. 3
Mhm.
times his appointment was just cancelled. Oh, due to the circumstances that are going on. My stepsister, has, God love her, has got cancer and she hasn't even been able to have treatment sometimes because of
What?
corona. And she's not
Oh
the
no, that's
only one.
crazy.
It's always in the news. You know,
Yeah,
it's
that's
not the,
crazy.
I'm not saying it's not out there and it's not bad, but
Mhm,
what, you're
mhm.
just gonna leave everyone else to just suffer, you know?
Well, I think because, well, and this is just my opinion, I think it's to the forefront because people are dying like, I mean, here, I don't know how it's spiking there, but here it's spiking, it's going so crazy right now that like I had a friend I ran into, he's got a temperature joint in his pocket. Like, you know what I mean? He's testing his own temperature like every 2 seconds. Like, man, relax, bro. It's not
Mhm.
that serious, but it is that serious.
But
Like,
that's how the media has managed to scaremonger people into thinking. But the only other thing is like not just from COVID or Corona. I think like oh God, how do I say it now? Like this whole lockdown stuff is going to cause a whole nother knock-on effect to the medical services and stuff because people's mental health, man, would literally have been affected like no one's business.
oh
Be
man, look, if you already had depression and anxiety, and you think sitting in your house all day can't go nowhere is not going to affect your mental, or having to deal with your kids on a day-to-day basis, not just be their mom, but be their teacher. If you don't think mental health ain't a problem, you're sadly mistaken.
But
You know what
mental
I
health
mean?
was a problem before that. It just wasn't widely spoken about, or it was very hush hush, especially within men. And now I feel like COVID corona has just made it worse. Like I know for the first, we were on lockdown for 10 weeks, right? The first lockdown, and that was proper lockdown. For the first, this is no word of a lie. For the first 5 weeks, right? Me and
Mhm.
Alfie never had any interaction with another human person like right there unless we went to the shop and the lady said, do you want to carry a bag with that? That's the only, apart from video calling or telephone call, we never saw another human person unless she was saying, do you want to carry a bag with that? Now, I think I'm quite thick skinned, you know, don't get me wrong. These bags were big by the end of that 5 weeks. I was tired.
Mhm.
I needed a I needed a break. I love my son. Don't get me wrong. I love him with everything I have, every hair on my head, every hair on my body, bone, whatever. But damn, that was testing. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
only imagine what it's like for somebody who isn't very strong-willed or has already got depression or something like that. It must have been. And when you look at statistics, like for example, in the UK, in the last year, they've spent 12 billion pound on mental health, right? Mental health is a big thing, but they've spent 12 billion pound. COVID, they've spent between 270 and 390 billion pound. Yet
Well, look, I got some
more people will
statistics too.
suffer and die from mental health, you know.
Yeah, we got people here. Like I said, it's spiking like crazy. We got mental health just as bad as it is anywhere. And they spent here in the United States, they spent 225 billion on mental health. Guess how much you think they spent on COVID? And it's only been a year. 6 trillion. You see what I'm saying? And you spent $6 trillion, and we got out of 5 hospital beds, 4 of them got COVID patients in it. You got 1 person every 33 seconds dying, but yet you spent $6 trillion on trying to fix this COVID thing. And guess what? It still ain't approved.
But also,
Waiting on our approval.
if they concentrated a bit more on mental health, like for example, this is just my opinion, I've got to keep saying it. But for example, people with depression, how do they know that they're not going to get to the point where they just say, fudge it, I'm going out. I don't even care about a mask. I just need to get out, you know?
Mhm.
Whereas if they'd have spent more money on people with mental health and depression, they would go to counselors or whatever. They haven't been able to do that. Imagine if
Well,
you.
no, I have. Well, here I deal with PTSD, and I have a counselor, and now it's most of the counseling sessions now are virtual. So
Okay, but
just
what
like
if
how
you're one
me
of
and you
those
were
people?
talking right now,
What if you're in the position that you can't do that?
and that's the problem. Yeah. So, but then that ties into healthcare. You dig what I'm saying? Like,
But
I
before
don't know.
before we
How's y'all's
slide,
healthcare over there?
hold on, before we slide into healthcare,
Yeah.
because I like to try and stick to topic. Is it different over there? Like over here, mental health, people don't seem to really take it seriously, the people that need to, but it seems to be a stigma that it's frowned upon more with men. Do you know what I mean? Men don't generally talk about it as much. Is it the same
Well,
over there?
I'm gonna tell you right now, most men don't like to talk about nothing. We keep everything bottled up. And that's me too. Sometimes we're just we're just those type of creatures that, like, we were designed to be, lead from the front, and sometimes we let pride get in the way.
But do you think that could
And
be changed?
well, it should be.
Mm.
It should be uh advertised that it's okay to seek help. It's okay to talk to somebody about it. It's okay to, want to be helped. You can't do everything on your own.
No,
I got a counselor. I'm gonna tell you, it as a man, it is hard to talk about, but once you find, well, actually, you gotta find the right counselor.
sure.
And that's one thing. Cause like some of these counselors out here, you end up counseling them.
Well, I
I
don't.
sat in the counselor and she started telling me her feelings, and I'm like, wait a minute, ain't I paying you my copay?
Oh
Like,
my god.
I can't deal with you, lady. I need somebody who's gonna give it to me straight with no chaser.
Well, there you go. But um, I don't care how thick-skinned someone thinks they are. At some point, if you hit rock bottom, you need help to be pulled out of it, right? And
Right.
I ain't gonna front. There was a time, 2019, the beginning of 2000, I hit rock bottom, and
Mhm.
I did some work with the guy who I mentioned on the last show, Mason. I'm going to share his website, share his links, everything. I swear to God, that man saved my life. Like,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
people would think you're overreacting, but I totally am not. The work that he does is literally phenomenal. Like, I've worked with him since then. And he is a big thing on dealing with men's mental health, and he tries so hard to like get it across, get it out there, make
Mhm.
like try and make it a point that it's not something that men shouldn't want to talk about. But
Mhm.
anybody, male or female, if you feel like you can't cope, you should ask. It's okay to not be okay, and as a lot of people need to understand that it's okay to not be
You
okay.
know, I just say it's just you gotta find as a man, you just gotta find the right setting. because I'm gonna tell you, I'm a vet, and I go to the VA hospital and I do the little counselor sessions here and there. And I remember when I first started going, I was having a difficult time because first of all, I don't know how to make this sound nice, but it ain't. I don't like group sessions.
Hmm.
Like I ain't sitting in no circle and
I wouldn't either.
trading war stories. Cause that's a trigger for me. I don't look, I'm trying to forget all the stuff I've been through. I don't want to hear the next man's war story. That's not helping me. So and then I expressed it. I was like, I can't sit in a group and like talk about stuff that happened over there. I can't or I can't sit and talk about like how my life was like when I grew up. I can't. I just, you know what I mean? To me, it's hard enough to even talk about it, let alone be around 30 people I don't know
Mm.
and express how I feel. So then I went to one-on-one sessions with counselors. And like I said, you have to find the right one. I found a couple really good ones, but I found a lot of duds too. Like I said earlier, like I end up I felt like I was counseling a lady. You know what I mean?
So
And I was just
basically,
like,
what you're saying is counselling is a bit like dating. You've got to kiss a few frogs before you find the right one.
well, not necessarily. I wouldn't say that. It ain't like dating like I bought the lady a drink or anything,
No, I
but
know. I
he is
meant, but you've
taking,
got to get
but you
through
got to
it.
understand when money's involved,
Mm,
you want to make sure you're getting what you need. You're not just going just to be going because I'm paying for this. Like, you know what I mean? When I say I needed help, I needed help. I don't need to be counseling you. You need to be counseling me.
mm.
You need to be trying to get me on the right path. I don't know you like that, but then I'm giving you my money. I need, you know what I mean?
True,
I just
true that. But you saying about giving money and then us talking about healthcare, obviously our healthcare here is different to yours, right? We have the NHS. So um to the world it would say we've got free healthcare, and yes, I can walk into a hospital, get an operation, and I haven't had to outlay any money, but it comes around with all taxes and stuff like that. So it is paid for, just not in the same way that you guys have to pay for it.
well, I'm gonna tell you right now. Here, healthcare is a big deal, man,
You have to have
because
insurance,
these,
right?
yeah, I have insurance, and I'm kind of blessed that the insurance that I have because of the job that I'm in is pretty good. But the thing about it is, you're still coming out of pocket. And then on top of that, you're paying for a hospital bed. You're paying for the stay that's in the time that you're spending in that hospital bed, you're paying for. And then on top of that, the surgeries, if you didn't have insurance, you would probably be living in a cardboard box because that's how expensive some of these surgeries are. Like I
Okay.
had emergency knee surgery on both my knees, and I looked at the bill. It was ridiculous, but I just happened to have pretty good insurance to where like I really didn't have to pay too much. But at the end of the day, like there's some people that's out here that ain't got no insurance, and that
Hold on
is
a minute.
crazy.
Exactly how does it work then? So say me, I don't have insurance, right? Literally, my leg is falling, like it's fallen, it's come off, right? I don't know how. Let's say I've had an accident, so I get taken to hospital, my leg's fallen off, and they say, oh, have you got insurance? But if I say no, what are they going to say then? Here's your leg back.
Oh no, oh no, you're going to get taken care of, and then they're
Okay.
going to try to give you some type of assistance to pay that bill.
Okay.
But you're going to get a bill, or
Okay.
you're going to
So,
get a bill.
oh, so it's not like you haven't got insurance, they won't treat you.
No, no, no.
Okay.
They have, by law they have to treat you. But the thing of it is they gonna want their money.
Hmm.
That it don't come
What if you
free.
genuinely haven't got it though?
Some people now there's some programs that like, you know what I mean, and it's based on income. You got some that have government assistance and stuff like that that'll help you with certain bills as far as medically. But I think everybody has health care here and everybody's paying a copay. And what I mean by a copay, if say like your bill is like $100, okay, your insurance company is going to pay, you'll pay, I'll say $30, and they're going to pay the rest. You
Okay,
see
well,
what I'm
what about
saying?
like a homeless person then who hasn't got a job, so they haven't got means to pay the money back? What would happen to it then?
I could not tell you because I haven't even talked to a homeless person. And that's the crazy part. Like, you know what I've noticed that I've never really seen too many homeless people in the hospital unless now I worked in the hospital and I'm gonna tell you, homeless people got a way of doing things for as far as survival.
Yeah.
Okay. So like we'll have a homeless person. Like I work security in the hospital, and I specifically liked working in the emergency room. So you had like homeless people we had to like chase out because what they'll do is they'll come in as an emergency and say, "Hey, like my foot hurts," and then because it's not a dead dire emergency, they're kind of like sat in the hospital and they're sitting in there for like hours, knowing that they're going to be sitting there for hours just to suck up that heat. And then they'll go in
Yeah.
and then they'll go, "Oh, nothing's wrong with you." Then
Mm.
we got to chase them out. You know what I mean? So it's a system when it comes to homeless people. Now, I don't know how that works as far as healthcare for homeless people, which would probably be a really good topic to investigate. But
I'm only asking because obviously I watch The Good Doctor, and there's been a few episodes where somebody will be taken. You're laughing, but this is the only
right
comparison
from the
I have.
headlines.
This is the only comparison I have. So basically, somebody will go in, and then you'll hear the doctors talking, saying they haven't got no insurance. Okay, well we can't treat them. They're going to have to go to another hospital.
Well, I don't know. Like I said, that's for entertainment. I don't know if that's true or not. Like I said, I've never dealt with because I'm not in the medical field, so I don't know how it is as far as for homeless people, how they get taken care of as far as medically. You know what I
Mm.
mean? I don't know if there's government assistance or, because I know there's a lot of places that will give out free flu shots. You know what I mean? Whether you got insurance or not, it depends on what's going on. Like, I don't know what it's like to actually see a homeless person come in and not and be turned away. I've never seen a person been turned away from
Okay.
medical.
So do you have more upmarket hospitals there? Like here, there's the NHS where any man, Joe Blogs or whatever goes if they got an issue. Or we have private hospitals where people who have got like medical insurance or they want to pay, then they pay a premium to go and have a premium service, if you like. Do you have
But
that
see,
sort of
that's the
system?
only thing about being an American. We pick and choose where we want to go. There is
Oh,
no,
okay.
yeah, there is no, like I can go to any hospital. Right now, if I felt sick, we got one, two, three. I think we got three hospitals here and go to any one I want.
See, now we get put within our area, like let's just say I had an accident, then they'd take me to the nearest hospital to obviously where I live. Obviously, if I was way out of town,
Mhm.
then they would deal with me and then have a way to get me transported back to a hospital nearer to my house,
Mhm.
unless, like I say, you go privately and then you can pay for where you want to go.
Yeah, like for instance, I ruptured my knees a couple years back before I had my surgery, and like I had my oldest son drive me around. He was like, "Well, what hospital you want to go to?" You see what I'm saying? I was like, "Go to the closest one to me before I pass out. Don't worry about what hospital. Take me to the nearest one." You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that. So that's the luxury about being in the States is that there is no you can only go to this hospital or you can only go to that
But have
hospital.
you got some
You
that
can
are
pretty much
classed as more upmarket than others? Like nicer? No.
no, they're all the same to me. I mean, to me, it's all about the people. The hospital is fine. It's who you're dealing with is makes the hospital what they are. If you go to like, for instance, we got Penn State Hershey. They're considered like a really uppity hospital, but they're all the same. But then I got a hospital right down here, Harrisburg Hospital, which is right in town here. And guess what? They're just as nice, just as curious, and do just as good as job as anybody else. Now, when it comes to um, different sections, like pulmonary or like heart doctors and stuff like that, there's some doctors that are better than others. There's some physicians that are better than others, and guess what? You still can pick and choose who you want. Yeah, crazy, right?
Well, we have certain doctors in certain hospitals, like, for example, I live in Buckinghamshire, but my doctor sent me to the hospital in Oxfordshire because they had um like a menopause specialist clinic,
So
then
they sent you to a specialist then,
yeah.
right?
So if
Yeah, we
there's a,
have specialists
if
here
there's
too. That's what I'm saying. Like the specialists here, you got some specialists. I don't know if that's a word,
no,
but
it is now.
that do good work. You know what I mean? And then you
Yeah,
got
if they
some that,
send you to a, if you
people
need
have said like, don't go to them.
but yeah, if you
Don't
need a
go.
specific thing, then if there's a specialist, then yeah, you go there. But other than
Yeah, like when my son was diagnosed with leukemia, I took him to the nearest hospital. And when we got there, they threw his tail in the ambulance and took him all the way to, the Cancer Children's Hospital in Hershey at Penn State, Hershey Medical. And they specialize
okay,
with, they have, hematology. They specialize in dealing with children with cancer. So it's kind of like that was dope because like certain hospitals have certain things that are geared for certain things. So
yeah.
I just I think that's the perks of being in the US. You can pick and choose. There is no, oh man, y'all ain't making enough money, y'all can't go here. You got to go there.
Mm.
You know what I mean? You can't go to Joe's because they more expensive and you got to have the
It's a bit
money.
like, like the whole NHS and private hospital. Like Alfie has really bad problems with his nose, like, and suffers with ridiculously bad nosebleeds. And this is the hospital appointment that we've had cancelled 4 times. If
Mhm.
I had money and was rich, I would 10,000% pay for him to go private.
Yeah.
I'm not rich, so
But this is the
unfortunately I
thing
can't.
though. To get back to the vaccine though, are we
Mm.
paying for this vaccine?
Are,
That's my curious
are we
thing
paying?
too. Yeah, or is this vaccine going to be free?
I assume
That's
so.
another question no one's talking about.
But I just assume so, because if you have any injections here, you just go and see your doctor, get jabbed, and that's it.
Mm,
But like I said, we will pay for it at some point through some tax or some increase somewhere. That's where the money will come from. It's not like you go there and say, "Oh, here's a tenner, I want a jab." It comes. They reap the money back somewhere.
is the vaccine free? No one said anything. I don't know. Is there side effects to the vaccine? I don't know. We got to be transparent. Who's all getting it? Because, America's a whole lot bigger than
Do you know
most
what? I
countries.
would really love any of our listeners or watchers to comment if they would have the vaccine. A, would they have the vaccine, and B, why? Because everybody I've spoken to has basically said no. So if there's anybody listening or watching that is a yes, stab me up with that needle, please comment underneath and tell us why.
And the same for the US. If you feel as though
Oh, this across the
if you
pond,
said
babe.
that,
It's across the pond.
yeah,
Anybody
and
that
then
wants it.
anybody, if y'all say, hey man, sign me up tomorrow, if they was dropping it out the window tomorrow, shoot me up.
Mm-hmm.
Would you do it? Would you do it right away, or would you wait till after like
Yeah, because we're both on the
1,000
same side
people?
of no thank you. So we need to balance this out with a yes,
Yeah, because
please.
no, don't get me wrong. If they make it mandatory and I gotta take it, I ain't got a problem with that. But I ain't gonna be the first one in line. Trust and believe that one.
Me
Because
either.
like I said, I've been in the military. Like, it happens. You gotta get that shot. And I've been shot up so much in the military, like you turn this light off, I probably glow green. I don't know.
I thought
But
that's because you're Superman, though.
you know what I mean? Like, so I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, I know eventually we're all going to have to get it because it's a pandemic. So everybody's going to have to eventually get it. Like before I was born, everybody had that smallpox shot and they got that little scar in their arm because
Mhm.
that was, we had 3 Mile Island here. So everybody was getting this shot, and it left like a little scar. I even got it because I had it in the military.
Mhm.
Again, shot up in the military. So, I don't mind if it says like we all have to get it eventually. I just don't want to be that first, second, or third, or fourth, or fifth group of
Well, I know for a
get it.
fact when it comes to Friday and you say, "What's happened in your news this week?" You know what's going to be on the top of conversation coming on Tuesday. The
There's riots in
bloody
the street.
vaccine.
There's riots in the streets.
Right. We need to end the show on a high.
Yes.
So we are announcing right now. Okay, before we announce the winner, I've got to say two things. One,
Yes.
all of them were so funny. It was
Oh my God. Some of them made me laugh so hard.
exactly. So we've decided to have a first and a second place. But
Yeah.
also, we've decided anybody that entered, we're going to send you something anyway.
Yeah, pretty
Just
much.
because they were
But
so good.
I mean, it was hard to pick, to be honest. I had a hard time picking because like some people came in at the last minute
Mm-hmm.
after we was like, watching and reading some of this stuff. And me and her was cracking up. And she was like, what do you feel about this one? I was like, I don't know. And then we read another one and then
Okay, I'm
I'll
not
be
going
like,
to
this
lie.
one's the winner.
I'm
So
not
we
going
had
to
to
lie.
really come down on this one.
I'm not going to lie. For me, the winner was always the winner because she went in not only with creativity, but she even went to the point of having a picture added to it. But she messaged us and added. She went all in. So I was
Yes.
like, that's the winner. She went above and beyond.
Above and beyond.
So I'm going to read you the winning reply, and then Rich, you can announce the winner. Then I'll read you the runner-up, and we'll announce the winner. So
Roger that.
basically, you had to caption our picture where we were looking very thoughtful. The winner says, Soph, that's me. I would say, I'm still waiting on your response, Rich. Come on, tell me, what do you think? Rich, hold on a minute. Hold on, Soph. I'm still thinking. You know my response has to be a good one because dun dun dun. Wait for it. Oh my god, I'm so not prepared. Even though I thought I was. Because you are Superman.
No, tell me if that ain't so. See,
Yes,
this is what I'm
it
talking
is.
about. See, this is what I'm talking about right here. See, she went
That's
over and
above
beyond.
and beyond.
She went into the crates
Who is the
and
winner?
pulled that picture out
The
and then
unanimous
attached it to
winner?
her comment. What'd you say?
Announce the winner. Who are they?
Her name is Michelle Payne, which happens to be my older sister.
She
Love
went
her to
all in.
death. She seems to be like our biggest fans right now.
Yes.
She is pushing us hard from all social
And
media.
you know what? We totally love her for it. Like, she's
Love you, sis.
our number one supporter.
Congratulations.
She is amazing. But literally, where I laughed so hard when I saw that picture, I was like, that's got to be the winner. So then
And
we'll go to the runner
she's
up.
been like that since I was a kid. Yeah, she always put me on blast.
Wow.
Love you, sis.
So
Congratulations.
the runner up says, Soph, that's me. Shall I buy those expensive shoes or not? Rich. Hello, we're in the middle of a show. You already have hundreds of pairs. Now, for anybody that knows me, at one point I had 112 pairs of shoes. I'm not going to lie. But women can never have too many shoes. So
I
I love
guess.
shoes. And the funny thing is, literally the day before on my personal Instagram page, I'd shared shoes saying, oh my God, these are on my wish list. I need them. And then ran that answer came in the next day. That is Michaela King. She's our second runner up. But
Congratulations.
we are contacting everybody that entered because you lot gave us a blast. Like, it was
Yes.
so funny and it was
Yes.
difficult. I'm not going to lie, even though I had my favorite from day one because of that picture. Yeah. So
Yeah.
thanks so much to everybody who entered.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for participating in our first of many
Yes.
giveaways.
And we ain't going to tell you what the prizes are because they are money
Well,
can't
this is
buy
what we
these.
would I would love for the winner and the runner up when you do get you guys' surprises is to take a nice picture, put it on our social media Instagram so that when we do another giveaway, people can see, hey, they weren't lying. We got some pretty good stuff.
Yeah, but it's not always going to be the same prize, number one. And number
I
two,
know that, but I'm
everybody
just
that gets
saying
something needs
for
to
our first giveaway, it's nice.
everybody that gets something should take a picture and tag us on their socials.
And I'm gonna take it to this generation. Everybody's a winner.
listen, not all of them is going to be like that. It's our first one. That's why, not even we. Look how you're carrying on. I've decided to be so generous and give something to everybody because it's our first one. Okay, Scrooge?
I agree. Well, people, this is Soph.
This is Rich.
And this is From Across the Pond.
Have a lovely week, Rich. I promise I won't be twitching next week because I'm not getting the vaccine on Tuesday. All right.
Okay, well, guess what? We probably won't even get it next week or the week after that. So have a good week as well, Soph.
Look forward to talking all COVID things with you on Friday.
How about that?
Have a lovely week.
Peace out.